if we want to live in a different world.
Hi everyone, Kipty here. Today marks the 1 year anniversary of the Command & Conquer Minigun Challenge, and to say that it went well is a bit of an understatement, as it's still currently my most viewed video. It got a lot of views, likes, comments, dislikes, and a lot of the comments saying that the music was a bit too loud. Now, I'm sorry that it took this long to address that, but when I was editing it in OBS, the sound was okay. The music and my voice sounded good, but apparently when it went live, it didn't, so I apologise for that. That's something to learn for the next one. Now, before I get into Red Alert, I just want to address that I've been thinking about going back to the first game and doing some of the missions that I missed. As I was going for the missions, I realised that this would not justify doing just for the GGI and NOD campaigns, as there were just a few missions that were different from the list that I chose. And even with those lists, most of those were just going around the map with the units you're given. So it was almost no point at the moment. So once I get around to doing Red Alert, I'll make a final video for this series, or in terms of the first two games, and just go through all the missions there, just to make it a bit nicer. I also looked at Red Alert to see if I can do the challenge again, and to be honest, there will be some things that I would need to change or adapt to. Firstly, the water aspect. Some of the missions we will need to use the water to go around the different islands within the maps, so I'll have to include transport, and with each transport you can only put up to 5 units in, whether that be 5 gunners or 5 mammoth tanks. Tell me the logic in that. There is none. So I have to think of a way to basically get around that, like add a few new rules, and then also try and work out what I actually need. For example, or sticking with the example of water, I need to work out how many gunboats or submarines I will need for the missions, which could be a problem, especially down the line with the Soviet, because the Allies will use cruiser ships, which are just base destroyers, to put it simply. We can get rid of them with tanks, but the cruiser ships will have to be quite close, and although in some missions that could be the case, if I lose the tanks, then I'm stuffed, unless I use the submarines. But the submarines are quite expensive. I think they're like 900 in normal difficulty, and then gunboats for the Allied are 500. But one submarine can take out a gunboat pretty easily. So I need to work out if I want to do that. The other thing I did try, I played the last 2 missions of the Allied and Soviet campaigns, just to have a taste of the pain that will come in the future. They were both in casual, and as you can see from these pictures, you can see there's a bit of a difference when you're just using minigunners, and also the tanks you're given as base defences. Bit of a pain. So yeah, there will be a video in the future going a bit more in detail about the rules and ideas I have, but for now it will just be this. So I don't know. Will it work? Maybe. What I will do though is I'll put a link in this video leading to a discussion I have in my community tab, and you guys can just let me know what you think. I'll take all ideas that will come my way. Might not use all of them, but if you have any suggestions of what I could possibly do, or if you think some of the rules I have will be beating or not going through the challenge, and so be it. That's how I just thought about it now. The other issue I'm going to have is accessibility in some of the maps, because like in Tiberian Dawn, the first two games, there were some areas where the minigunner couldn't reach due to the limitation of their guns in the game. In Red Alert, there's a slightly bigger range, but if something's out of their reach, they're not going to hit it. So I need to work out a way to say, do everything first, and then maybe use additional units just to complete the map or the mission even. I don't know. I'll write a note for all the rules I come up with, and then we'll have a discussion there. But yeah, if you feel like putting in your feedback to me, much appreciated. Anything you guys have will be, again, appreciated. With that being said, I think we'll keep this video relatively short. So I hope this video briefly explains what the plan is. I won't be doing recordings until January, so I've got plenty of time to work something out. But with that being said, thank you for listening, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.